I think soon I'm going to have to go on a journey to find another cave. There's a cave over here that I saw off in the distance. Do I have... There's no Optifine Sims button, because there's no Optifine. But yes, that was the intention, is to go into that cave. You know, last time, not only did I record the episode in 720p, but I used the wrong scene as well. Oh, I'm in creative, haha. That's both wrong and also wrong. There we are. What was I saying? Oh yeah, not only did I record in 720p, but I recorded the wrong scene. I guess I'm just gonna swim. So everything was screwed up. Clearly I was away from recording for too long. And then of course, I got sick again. Because of course I did. Yeah, how last time I said that it might have been 2 illnesses back to back? Well, now I know it was 2 illnesses back to back, and the second illness was the same as this. I got the second illness again. And I don't even know what happened this time. But, you know, it's fine. So this is the new cave that I wanted to explore. I mean, it might suck. We might... I'll accept the coal. Because otherwise... I mean, I don't know. I haven't checked, like... I have not been here yet. It might just be a case of having to, I might just have to go elsewhere anyway. And any illness you might be hearing is simply allergies. Because I can't afford antihistamines. And if you would like me to afford antihistamines, there's always a tip me link in the description. I have forgotten to put my list up on my second monitor about things I wanted to talk about. I do know that I did try to... Not sure which direction I want to go. Ooh, there's a lot of directions I could go. Interesting. Well, down is always more likely to head somewhere interesting. One thing that so I did try to record this once before, and I decided to try to change the format. Okay. I was going to explore one of those Minecraft city maps, and I want to talk about, and this is why I did that, is, I wanted to talk about Kenopsic spaces, or what the internet is commonly currently referring to as liminal spaces. You go, like, there. And I don't like the term liminal spaces, which refers to, like, being a transitional space. At least that doesn't really refer to what I think about when I think about that sort of... I think what most people think about, like, even like the back rooms and stuff, it's definitely much more Kenopsic. Kenopsia is the name of the feeling for when you're in a place that's usually full of people, and there's no people in that place. And so, therefore, a Kenopsic space is a place where that is usually full of people, but there are no people in that place. And I think that's a much more apt description. Because liminal spaces have sort of become, as the internet calls them, a horror thing. And I don't like that they've become a horror thing, because I like to me, I find Kenopsic spaces comforting, and this is like why I do urbex. And that was a tie-in. And like I do I used to have a gallery of urbex photos, and then the gallery broke, and I just couldn't be bothered to fix it. Maybe I will fix it one day, and then if I do, I'll put the link in the description. As well, just mine out all this copper. And so it's kind of difficult to, like, there are a lot of spaces in Minecraft that are very much Kenopsic spaces. That's to say, like, any multiplayer server downloaded, played as a single-player world, Kenopsia. But also stuff like that subway map that came out that was super impressive, like, a decade ago at this point. And, you know, city builds and stuff like that. Big Kenopsia vibes. And that's where I need to go if I want to find something. And, like, I can't search liminal spaces because it just becomes this kind of horror thing. And I don't get it. I genuinely don't get it as a horror element. I mean, I know it's weird for me that I find it comforting. Like, I understand that. I understand there are people who can be like, I don't understand how you find it comforting. But I don't understand how it becomes a horror element. But equally, I'm not... To me, the type of horror I like is the type of horror that is at least partially truth. Like, there's this old, I think it's in the public domain at this point, story called The Hounds of Tyndalos, which eventually became a part of the Lovecraft Eldritch horror canon and stuff. And I don't like the way Lovecraft looks at the Hounds of Tyndalos. And this is why I like to use it as an example. Because, to me, I'm going to give a very quick retelling. I mean, it's a really quick story. I'm going to include an archive.org link to... Or actually, no, it's in the Wikimedia Commons. So I'll put the Wikimedia Commons as well as an archive.org link in the description. But the super short story is there's this dude who believes that you can, like, time travel or whatever with some psychedelics. And he has an assistant help him do that, and he, like, he goes insane. Like, he loses his mind on these psychedelics, and he claims that he saw these hounds of Tyndalos that exist on the corners of time, and that they're horrifying, and that, like... And that's he becomes, like, paranoid of them coming to find him, basically, because apparently once they find you, or once they smell you, they will keep trying to find you forever. And to me, what I find horrific and therefore interesting about this horror story is that we have no idea. The dude basically kills himself, or he gets killed by the hounds. And we have no idea whether he actually did experience the hounds, or if he just had a really, really bad trip on all those psychedelics that he took and lost his mind that way, right? Like, perhaps he did experience the hounds, but it was just psychedelics, right? And equally, perhaps he experienced something else, and it was just the psychedelics. Or perhaps he did, in fact, experience the hounds, and he did, in fact, experience the hounds. Like, all those are valid options. I'll come back there. Right. And so, like... And then it's found. It's like displayed as a newspaper clipping at the end that he was found mangled in the middle of. He had this room that they had plastered it into a sphere, basically, so that they can't come through the corners to find him. And he was found in his home, mangled a few weeks later. Oh, that's going to cause a cave-in. Didn't realize it was gravel until it was too late. And so, like, it could be that he just killed himself from going insane from after that experience with the psychedelics. Or it could be that the hounds got to him and killed him. Like, both of those are completely reasonable, and that's what I like about... Excuse me? What is the deal with creeper hitboxes? What's the deal with creeper hitboxes? I can't do it. Seriously though, what is the deal with creeper hitboxes? I can't seem to shoot them with an arrow. And so that's what I find interesting about it, is that, like, we don't know whether these hounds that he experienced were these actual wretched beings that were horrifying and that were gonna kill him, or if he just went insane from taking psychedelics, like from having a really bad trip on all of the psychedelics. Whereas, of course, Lovecraft looks at it and is like, ah, yes, horrible creatures. And, I mean, I just don't find that interesting. I don't find the idea of horrific creatures beyond my comprehension. Oh no, I can't comprehend you. Like, I don't know. It doesn't... It's very much a, I guess the deal is, it has something to do with, like, probably the average person has... okay. Probably the average person, doesn't... Like, they don't really want to... They don't want their media to make them think. Does that make sense? Like, the average person wants something extremely approachable, I guess, is kind of the... Which, I mean... That's kind of almost obvious, with those sets of words. But I mean to say that, like, they don't want to have to worry about feeling complex emotions and complex logic. They kind of want their entertainment to be fed to them, which, I mean, that's acceptable. I don't have a problem with that. Right? But to me, the idea of stuff that's just, like, entirely fantasy horror just has no effect on me, because I can separate fiction from reality type of thing. Do I have... I have gravel. There's cobblestone. And so I'm not particularly bothered by fantastical horror. Whereas horror wherein there's an option that is completely realistic, even if that's not necessarily the only option, even if there is a fantastical element, I find a lot more interesting. And, like, I want to bring up also Frankenstein's monster. Otherwise, the wretched thing, or the devil, or... This is where I came in. What? 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 Cool. Okay. That's cool. And is that the direction I went? I'm not sure. There's a torch there, then okay. Frankenstein's monster, a lot of people see the horror aspect as being the monster himself. And, I mean, he's just a dude. I don't know, he's a big dude who's been... Ow. He's a big dude who's brought to life by a mad scientist, but I mean, he's just a dude. To me, what the horror of the horror of... I'm already running low on torches? Jeez. Hey, Andy, dude, could you, like, go elsewhere? I don't want to have to look at you and then you attack me. I'm just gonna mine this iron, if that's okay with you. Okay? Cool, cool. Is that, like... Is the psychological... Like, the dude who... I mean, he just wanted to be a person. He just wanted to be a real person. Frankenstein's monster. And Dr. Frankenstein neglected him and called him the wretched thing and the devil and a bunch of other names. And so it's like, to me, the horror is about bringing someone into the world and neglecting them and abusing them, right? Which, like, particularly to me, looks like a very loud allegory to people with Down syndrome in particular, and autism as well, but largely the way people treat people with Down syndrome, and the way that I've seen people with children with Down syndromes treated. Down syndrome treated. I'm struggling with pluralization today, apparently. Well, that was boring. Oh, this is, yeah. Okay. Might as well mine some granite while I'm here. Why not? Granite is a pretty rock, and people who disagree, I don't know. I mean, you're entitled to an opinion, just know your opinion is wrong. Right, so that's what I find interesting about Frankenstein, or the Modern Prometheus, as the story is originally called, I believe. It's also in the public domain. You can read that as well. I mean, it's a little bit of a difficult read. It's not an easy read, especially if you're not used to kind of Victorian-style vernacular and so forth. It's really interesting. It's very different from, like, the way Frankenstein, the story, has been presented in media and stuff, like in more modern media and stuff, like the movie, like even the 1960, I think, whatever movie, because it's presented in like a set of notes, or not a set of, well, or sorry, a set of letters. It's like retelling a story being told to him in a set of letters to his sister, if I remember correctly. So it's like, it's definitely a weird type of way of consuming a story. But anyway, I think, yes, the idea of Frankenstein, or the Modern Prometheus, being a story about bringing someone into the world and then neglecting and abusing. I mean, this happens even with, I mean, children who don't have... Oh, I'm out of torches. Like, who don't have Down syndrome or autism or whatever. Like, children are neglected and abused all the time after being brought into the world. I mean, they didn't ask to be there, and then they're being ostracized for existing. Maybe ostracized isn't the exact word I want. I want a word that implies... I don't know if ostracized implies maybe the passivity of the abuse, or maybe it implies too much validity. I don't know, I definitely have something weird about that word, but I don't know what other word I want, and I'm sure there is another word. If you know what that word is, leave a comment, seriously. I'm always happy to learn new words. Mostly because I really like being able to express myself easily. And correctly and distinctly. There's a word I want and I can't find the word I want. I know the word. Concisely! That is the word I wanted. Concisely. It must be raining outside. You know, that right there was a good ramble. Considering that I don't have my notepad up. I started with freaking Kenopsic spaces and ended on Frankenstein's monster. I mean, it's beautiful. It's what every ramble should look like. Last episode sucked. I don't like calling it an episode. The last Rambles 3 sucked. Because I had taken such a long break from recording that, like, and that was the first thing I recorded since after getting sick and not recording a video for like 5 weeks. That, like, it's bad. It's notably bad. Why didn't I put a torch there? We're there. I guess it's because of the hand light. Yeah, I just was out of practice, and so it sucked. On top of the fact that it was recorded in 720p and in the wrong scene. But it's can't just walk into my line of sight, dude. Can't do that. No. Dude, what's your deal? Alright. So I think I've explored as much as there is to explore in this cave. Oh, this isn't an opening? I mean, it could be. We're gonna make it an opening. Recently I've been having an issue. Aha! I have found light! It is indeed raining. Ooh. Doesn't look great. See if I can find another cave in this mountain, maybe. I've been having this issue. Ow. With my, I've been having this issue with my fan, with the fan at the back. It came with the case. I got a new case recently. I don't know what recently means. Probably like 4 months ago. And it came with a fan in the back, and so I took the fan off of... I mean, it's definitely far superior, or at least I thought it was, to the one that it was on my old case. So I took the one off my old case and put it on the front of this one, so now I have 2 fans. But the fan that came with the case, that's at the back, next to the CPU cooler, just won't start now sometimes. This one seems to... This might be... Come on! Come on! Alright. And it just won't spin now sometimes. It's weird. Like, it's... I can, like... I can set the freaking... I can set it to full speed. I can send full voltage to it. And it won't spin. Like, it makes sense that the fan could have issues, spinning up at at the lower voltage or whatever, right? Because like Asus fan expert or whatever really wants to be like the absolute the absolute bare minimum voltage to make the fan spin. But no, I could send full 12 volts or whatever it is to the fan, and it still won't spin unless I tap it. If I poke it, or if like I've just been banging the back of the case a few times every time the computer starts up, and it'll spin, and then it'll be able to stop and start again, no problem. I don't know what would cause that. And I feel like I'm not about to send the entire case in for an RMA over a screwy fan, if I'm being completely honest. Because otherwise, the rest of the case works fine. And I already took the Cougar branded badge off the front, because fuck you, stop advertising to me on the product I already own. The light down there implies that perhaps I've already been down there. I have. Wogue. Excuse me? And so I like, the only other option, I mean, I guess I could try to lubricate it. I could like just cover it in WD-40, or maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll just hand spin it for like, I don't know, maybe there's some sort of dirt or debris in there or something. I don't know. Or, you know, I can buy a new fan, but I can't afford to, I mean, I just said I can't afford to buy antihistamines. What makes you think I could buy a new fan? And so if you'd like me to be able to afford a new fan, there's still a tip me link in the description. Always. Always. But anyway, the fan is spinning now. But I had to make sure, like, before I started recording, I had to get up and bonk the back of my PC case a few times. Oh, ow! In order to get the 3 creepers. Okay, well, at least one blew up the other 2. Something else that I know was on the list is, you know, I had it, and then it just, when I started speaking about it, I've forgotten entirely what the other thing was that I knew was on the list without having to pull up the list. Well, how does that happen? Oh! I'm just gonna leave these holes. I don't care. Oh yes. I think it was the second Rambles, where I ended up going on this long technical rant about VPNs, and I went on this long ramble about VPNs and like technical ramble about VPNs and self-hosting stuff in my server and hosting my own VPN and so forth. And I realized that, I mean, a part of me kind of wants to keep things accessible to a general audience, but also it's like, it's a very loosey thing to do, to go on technical rambles. And I think maybe I want to cultivate an audience of people who can, even if they don't necessarily understand what I'm saying, they can follow what I'm saying. I think that's a good idea. And so, because of that, I want to mention, I have my main website at nelma.ca. It's also served over the Onion router, otherwise known as Tor, which is what people usually mean when they refer to the dark web, or the darknet, or the deep web, or the deep net, or the whatever. And there's like, oh, people are afraid of it, and like, isn't that illegal? No. No, it is not. I mean, there are illegal things you can do on the darknet, but it's just a different network. I don't know. People are like really weird about it. So anyway, I host my website over the darknet, over Tor, and ooh, Dripleaf. Come on, let's. I've actually not really spent a lot of time in these sort of, in the Dripleaf lush cave things, whatever. It would be interesting to do like TNT run. I'm sure someone's already done this, but TNT run with like Dripleaves. Andy boy. You holding something? You are holding a block of dirt. Nice. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Ow. Why did I take damage? Why did I take damage? What? I keep interrupting myself or getting interrupted on what I was saying. But host on the Darknet, and so a lot of Darknet bots, frustratingly, don't, they're like Python requests, and they're like Go HTTP client, right? They're like these generic library user agents, which I think libraries should not have generic built-in user agents. They should require a user to define their own user agent. And I think it's like really suspicious, because if you had like a valid use to be a scraper, then you would have some sort of valid user agent, right? You would say, I am a search engine, or you would say, ooh, axolotl. Squeak. Or you'd say, oh, I'm just someone who trolls the Tor network, right? Like, and so I ended up deciding that I'm gonna block all user agents, or that are all generic. Are these also I don't know. All generic user agents. Go HTTP client and Python requests and anything like that, right? Also, if you have no user agent. And very quickly it appears that the solution to that problem, to people not being able to access my website because I blocked their user agent, I mean, it says on the thing, this user agent is blocked, this is a list of blocked user agents, this is how to fix it, how to set your user agent to something good, something that I will accept, and this is what a good user agent looks like. And people are still, instead, there's like, they're just changing software. Like, I'm getting now, like, Microsoft Data Point or something. I don't even remember what it's called. Some weird Microsoft software, office software, like advanced, like that would come with like the Microsoft Access and that type of thing. And Apache Nooch. And why? And there's one that I blocked, and they tried to get around it. Oh yeah, right. There the Microsoft, the .NET API library thing, I blocked that one as well, and so their way of getting around it, they literally just looked up how to change user agent and whatever, I guess, even though I gave them a link on how to change it. And the first result for that has an example, it's Stack Overflow, and it has an example user agent that's like, that has Acme Inc. It's like Mozilla 5.0, which, I mean, most user agents, or at least browser agents, start with that, even though it's not a browser and it shouldn't say Mozilla 5.0, but that's an entire other thing. And it says Acme Inc. And so I blocked just that exact string, and so they got around it. Instead of by changing it to something actually valid, they just copied and pasted, they just repeated the string over and over. There was one that was like freaking 300 characters long of just repeating that same user agent string over and over again. So I blocked that, anything that contains that entire string. And they seem to have given up. But like, I don't necessarily want you to give up. I just want you to have a real user agent. Right? I mean, if you are giving up, then all I'm learning is that whatever you're doing is suspicious. Right? And that's why I'm blocking you, is because I think what you're doing is suspicious. This is a really nice cave. If only I had started here. Is that... No, I think that's like... No, that's just like diorite? Whatever. It looks like there's blue there, and so I was like, diamonds? I want that iron. I want a bridge all the way over there that I'm gonna do it. And so I just, like, I'd love for them to, you know, I assume they're suspicious because they're giving up. But they could just not be suspicious, right? Like, they could just give a valid user agent. And it's not a big deal. But I keep like going in and checking, because there's like people just come up with new, they just start changing software, which is ridiculous, because it's a lot easier just to like put in a real user agent. I don't know. Yeah, they changed the software, and so I have to go and add new software to the list that I didn't consider the first time, like Microsoft Data Point or whatever it's called, and freaking Apache Nooch. And, like, there are people using old, outdated libraries as well that I have to worry about, like old enough that there's security issues in them. Like, I could get them back if I wanted to, in a much more serious sort of way. And actually, while I'm on this topic, on my main website, I'm gonna have to like implement a rate limiter, which is freaking stupid. I've been getting all of these IPs from China. I'm particularly mentioning that they're from China, not only because they're all from China. Like, I'm talking all of these ridiculous requests are coming from IPs from China. Okay? And they are... They are, like, picking an image at random. Like, I have some of those 88x31 badges on my site. My profile pictures. Anything like that. They will just... Anything that's that's an HTML image tag, specifically. So, like, if it's a CSS background, they're not doing this. And they're just sending dozens of requests per second to that image. Which, like, is that an attempt to DOS? Is it just a bad bot? Is it, like, I don't understand what the purpose is. But it's, like, it's not too much of a problem. Like, it's not causing issues. But, apart from the fact that, I mean, it's using bandwidth that I'd rather go to something else. And so... I'm gonna have to implement a rate limiter That's like if you have... I think they're all using Go HTTP client as well as a user agent. So I'm going to be like... I guess I'm going to have to use basically the same list as that Tor block. And... just like... instead of blocking that user agent, just rate limit, where you like, you can only make... You know, there's really complicated rate limiting tools in Nginx. And my website has like a big burst of stuff right at the first connect. So I need to allow at least that much. But then afterwards, make a rate limit so that they can only, you know, every few minutes. At most. I mean, I don't... Why would you request the same image over and over? I don't get it. What's the deal? If you happen to know why that might or why that is happening, why they're doing that, also, comment, tell me. I'm not trying to drive engagement. I genuinely want answers. I am trying to drive engagement, but I also genuinely want answers. Been here before, too? Oh, I remember this. I remember I fought off like 7 creepers over here. I think. Yeah. This is really cool. I'm gonna cause a cave-in. Watch this. It's really cool that I keep revisiting places from other caves. From previous rambles and like the same... It's cool. Oh, I'm full. I have a potato. Let me hatch this egg. Oh, wow! Oh, wow! Got an actual chicken out of that. What are the chances? I know the chances are a defined constant. Tell me what the chances are. Tell me the defined constant and the chances of an egg. Definitely just trying to try and... no, baby Zombo! No, I don't like you. You're annoying. You're frustrating. Die. Thank you. I mean, this big section, this big new section of cave that has opened up, definitely gonna have to revisit at some point. Because it's approaching near that stop recording and episode time. I'm running out of torches again, and so forth. But also, I'm like kind of afraid I'm not going to be able to find my way back here again. Even though it clearly has happened. My inventory is full, right? Like, I can't even... I can mine 2 more iron. Oh, just kill me. Do it. Hurry up! That took long enough. I guess I am a netherite armor though. Enchanted netherite at that. Alright. Let's melt a bunch of no gold. I didn't mine any gold this today. No diamonds either. Weird. I mined too much copper, obviously. Oh, I mined enough coal that that should be stored in blocks. I swear I mined some lapis. Didn't I mine some lapis? Or I think of when I was playing last night. Maybe I need more for an eye. I don't want to make more of these auto smelters though. Then I have to create another row of bucket lavas. Yeah, I should just get like, there's probably an instant smelter mod, isn't there? Weirdly, there isn't an instant smelting mod. That's strange. I'm gonna venture in this direction a little bit and see if there's any caves in this direction. La, 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 la. Not the most recent Riles challenge, but the Riles challenge before this one had Man in the Box as a song, and so I had to sing it. And there's too much thought that goes into making that noise. And you can tell even Rock Band feels the same way, because they just say, ow. That's what they have written in as the lyric there. But it's this, like, very round, sort of L vowel sound. And you mess with your tongue and your lips a little bit between pitches. It's weird. It has an Oblivion Gate. Oblivion Gate, do 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 do. Oblivion Gate, do 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 do. Don't know why I'm. Oblivion Gate, do 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 do. Oblivion Gate, do 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 do. Oblivion Gate. Silk Touch Shovel. The heck am I gonna do with a silk touch shovel? I think after this I'm gonna record. I want to do something about the YouTube playables. I think that could be interesting. Won't you come and save me? It's fun to make fun of whoever sings for Alice in Chains. I don't care about Alice in Chains all that much. Although I should learn to sing, because I was about to say it's almost as fun as making fun of Mike Patton, who I don't care much about Faith No More either, but I know his name because you have to be able to know a dude's name if you're gonna make fun of him, right? And so that's what I'm getting at. Is it's fun to be able to go, you want it all, but you can't have it. Oh wow. Perfectly rounded block number of iron. But if I'm gonna make fun of the dude who sings for Alice in Chains, I should probably know his name too. You know, I used to sometimes sing Such Small Hands at the beginning of my streams. And it's been so long since I've streamed, and it's been so long since I've basically forgotten the lyrics to the song at this point. And part of me wants to go and just since I'm waiting around anyway, I want to attempt it anyway. Let's do that. Ugh. Somewhere here I have aha. I have it set to duck, I think. Yeah. Let's well, my GPU drivers or something crashed. That's what I get for trying to do something weird during a recording session. One thing that I want to mention that I forgot to mention that I'm just gonna shove in. Dude, Java update available. Anyway, one thing I'm just gonna shove in here, that I wanted to mention. If you've been noticing a high-pitched around 7 kilohertz whistling, humming, whining, in any of my videos on the vocal track, on the speech track of any of my videos, I tried to filter it out in some videos depending on how intense it is. The thing is, I also have my built into my vocal cords, my voice has a hiss at around 7 kilohertz as well. So I can only do so much before my voice starts to sound weird. But that should be gone now. So the deal is my monitor has it has a USB hub built in, but it sucks. It's weird. FreeBSD was having issues with it. It wouldn't initialize properly on FreeBSD. My computer triple boots now Windows, Artix, Linux, and FreeBSD. And it was having issues on FreeBSD, and it was causing coil hum. I know it was causing coil whine on my Stream Deck. And so it must have also been causing some sort of issue with the microphone I had my headset plugged into there, because I used to have my PC case to my left, and my headphones plugged into my left, and that's why I used to have my PC case to my left. But I moved it to the right, because it just makes the most sense, apart from that issue. And so I was just using the USB hub built into my monitor, because the monitor USB hub is on the left side of my monitor. But that causes issues, and so I got angry, and I walked to Canada Computers. Okay? I stopped being lazy and went to the store! One person from freaking 5 years ago who commented and told me to stop being lazy and go to the store! I walked all the way to Canada. I walked 4 kilometers! And 4 kilometers back! Canada Computers. For a USB-C hub! And now I'm plugged into a USB-C hub, and that humming should be gone now. I also carried an entire freaking fence. It was like stormy out. This is how you know I was angry. So I went out, it was stormy. I was like, no, I'm gonna go get a USB hub. You'll walk all the way and go up 4 kilometers to Canada computers and get a USB hub, right? and on my way back, there was a fence that had blown out onto the. So it was like there's houses, there's sidewalk, and there's houses to the right of the sidewalk. They're just like backs of houses, right? And so those houses have fences, and the fence had blown so it was perfectly perpendicular to the sidewalk. And so, like, you know, originally to me, I was just like, well, somebody who has, like, who has a mobility aid is walking down there. They're not going to be able to go around onto the grass. So you're going to have to go all the way back, across the street, and then keep going, and then cross the street again if they want to be on that other side of the street, or whatever. Like, so I'm like, depending on how easy it is to move, I'm gonna move it. And as I kind of walk past, I kind of jiggle it, and it's like super, like, I'm surprised it was still I don't know how it was standing. And I was like, well, now that's, not only is that an issue of mobility aid users, but, like, that's not, it's not, like, that's gonna fall. That's not safe. So I literally just freaking picked it up by one side, and I rotated it, and I let it fall back onto the property from which it originally came. So yeah, not only did I walk 4 kilometers to Canada computers, stop being lazy, and went to the store 4 kilometers back, but I also carried an entire freaking fence on my way back. All for a crappy 4-port. It was like how much did it cost? Does it have a price tag? No, it doesn't. But like, it was like $15. USB-C hub. Made by this company Orico, which I'm sure is just, like, completely not a real name brand. You know, while I'm here, I have now the DY box. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna grab... Can you make a beacon with copper blocks? You cannot use copper blocks for a beacon, okay. Well, what do we have the most of? Probably iron blocks. I'll take 2 from each. I want to take one from whoever has the most out of all of those, then. Which is this one. Okay. I don't care about, like, the effects of the beacon. I just want a beacon. That's what the DY box is for. Instead of having to do stuff in creative, I can pre-prepare stuff in there and then just... I'm gonna create the beacon here. Next to the DY box. Bacon! Alright, oh. Ooh, there's something weird going on there with, volumetric clouds? Yeah. Strange. Give me haste. We'll do haste, and you want... I'll use the emeralds if I have any emeralds. If not, then I'll use diamonds from whoever has the most diamonds. Haste 2. Haste 2. Why is it blinky? Why is the haste blinky? Ooh, that is indeed haste. Hastel. Hastest? Hasteful. Have beacons always made noises? Have beacons always made... Have they always emanated an annoying hum? I don't remember them emanating an annoying hum. I guess what I didn't get in diamonds and gold and stuff today, I got instead in copper. And I guess I could afford to make the beacon bigger. Right? Like, I have all this material. Does the material you use matter? I don't know. I literally don't use beacons enough in survival to know how it works. It's the final ingot. Woo. Okay, give me. Whew, that's a lot of copper. What am I gonna do with all that copper? Ow. No, you didn't hit me, but still, ow. My feelings are hurt that you tried to hit me. Used to be an adventurer like you, and then I took an arrow to the knee. Oh, that's not in my knee, that's in my, like, My inner thigh. It's in my, like, that's like in my crotch. That's... Oh, whoa?